explosions, 5 packages exploding in Texas, the most recent one happening last night. And we're going to be joined now by Bernard Zaper, former special agent in charge at the ATF and faculty associate, Arizona State University School of Criminology and Criminal Justice. Thank you so much for talking to us. You know, this is interesting because there is definitely a pattern here. Unfortunately, though, it seems after we watched this news conference, as I'm sure you did as well, investigators do, as John pointed out, have more questions than answers. The Schertz police chief, in fact, just saying that the package, all they know at the time, had been traveling along that automatic conveyor at FedEx when it detonated. But as for who mailed the package, the address that it was being sent to, we still don't know. So tell us how hard it's going to be for investigators to, I guess, piece the package back together to get answers.
Well, there's going to be 2 main components of investigation like this. One is the forensics investigation from the results of the devices themselves. They leave a lot of evidence. You can assume that there are teams working each individual device, its remnants, its origins. The laboratory examination will actually result in the remanufacturing of each device. Those devices right there will give you a signature if they're connected or not. The second other major component of the investigation is an investigation of the victims for connectivity. And then also, like, for example, if you have this random device that was put in a public area, there could be a tie there. If you have a forensics tie between the devices, there's a lot of potential motive and opportunity that's derived from both the forensic and the investigation of the victims.
According to police, this package was mailed from Austin to Austin. So obviously, somebody in the Austin area is responsible. The San Antonio Fire Department sending out 2 tweets early this morning, shortly after 5 a.m. And the first one is particularly disturbing. Interestingly enough, though, FBI and ATF agents weren't able to confirm one of the details in this tweet. Major incident, Schertz, Texas area. The tweet reads, "This is what we have gathered unofficially. Shortly after 12 midnight, a package destined for Austin, Texas, detonated at the FedEx distribution facility. The package was said to have contained nails and shrapnel. Of the 75 people working at the facility, only 1 complained of injury described as a non-life-threatening percussion-type injury. All inbound and outbound packages are in limbo, and transport vehicles are in gridlock. At this hour, ATF, FBI assets are beginning to arrive." Now, you tell me, when it comes to this package and it blowing up prematurely, what could have caused that? Jonathan Hunt, our correspondent on the scene, had said perhaps it got tousled in just a moment. My producer's talking to me. What did you say? Stand by 1 second. We have to go to John for breaking news. We'll be right back to you.
Back to our coverage on that in just a moment. But first, a news conference in St. Mary's County, Maryland, on the school shooting, Great Mills High School this morning. Let's listen.
And fired around, wounding a female student and another male student in a hallway of Great Mills High School just before classes begun. The victims of the shooting were transported by EMS, and the one male student went to MedStar St. Mary's Hospital, is in stable condition. The female student was transported to shock trauma facility, is in critical condition. And I am told that at 10:41 a.m. this morning, the shooter was confirmed deceased at Charles Regional Medical Center in La Plata. When the shooting took place, our school resource officer, who was stationed inside the school, was alerted to the event and the shots being fired. He pursued the shooter, engaged the shooter, during which that engagement he fired a round at the shooter. Simultaneously, the shooter fired a round as well. So in the hours to come, in the days to come, through detailed investigation, we will be able to determine if our school resource officer's round struck the shooter. The school resource officer is uninjured and was not struck by any firearm projectile. The SRO is with our detectives now, as are witnesses to the event. They are still at the high school in a secured area. The remainder of the students from Great Mills High School, as our protocol and process and training, we brought buses in and had them removed to the Forest Tech Center in Leonardtown for parent reunification. That is ongoing as we speak. I would like to thank my colleagues from the allied agencies that responded. It was a mass response this morning from Police, Fire, and Rescue. Charles County Sheriff's Office, thank you, Troy Berry. Major Morris, thank you. The Maryland State Police responded, as did the NAS Police, Calvert County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the ATF. At 1 o'clock, I hope to give you more details about this event. I know that you have a number of questions, and I'm alerted to a number of things that are out there on social media about the potential relationship between the shooter and any of the victims. At this time, we can't confirm any of that. That is what this investigation will do. And at 1 o'clock, I would anticipate being able to release identities of perhaps the shooter and the victims as well. And we would know by then that notification is being made. So again, I wanted to lay the groundwork for what's to come at 1 o'clock.
Can you confirm the identity of the school resource officer?
No, I can't, not at this time.
There have been threats posted on social media a month or two ago at this school. Can you say anything about if any of what happened today was related to that?
So that's part and parcel to the investigation. We'll go on to determine if anything on social media was relevant to this day. I'm not aware of anything, but again, we're going to go back and comb through that, as well as anybody involved, their social media posts.
How many resource officers are for the school?
We have a school resource officer assigned to each of our high schools.
One?
Yes, yes.
Again, we're not taking questions right now at 1 o'clock. I appreciate it. Thank
I
you.
would like to mention that the FBI has set up a 1-800 line. It's 1-800-CALL-FBI. If you have additional information that you would like to share with us, we set that 800 line up. So please give us a call there. I'll see you all again at 1 o'clock. Thank you all very much.
Sure. From what you know right now, can you just speak at all a little bit broadly about the response to this today, both the school resource officer's response and the police and EMS response in the immediate aftermath?
Yeah, so as I said, it was a mass response. You know, this is what we train for, this is what we prepare for, and this is what we pray that we never have to do. And on this day, we realize our worst nightmare, that our greatest asset, our children, were attacked in one of our places of a bastion of safety and security, one of our schools. So obviously that's what we're talking about right now across the country. And, you know, the notion of it can't happen here is no longer a notion. So despite training, you hope that you never have to do this, ever. And so now we're a very tight-knit community. And so now what I would ask our community to do would be pray for those victims and hope that we can return to some type of normalcy in our schools and in our community.
When was your last formal active shooter training exercise?
We train on that all the time, and in the schools was in the last calendar year. In fact, unfortunately, we've had incidences that were people with guns in some of the schools and bomb threats, which we treat similarly. So we talk about school safety, school response weekly. In fact, we've done a number of parent meetings, community meetings on this within the last couple months. That's all the questions I'm going to take. I'll see you at 1. Thank you.
Sheriff Tim Cameron, St. Mary's County, Maryland. A school shooting there at Great Mills High School this morning. A gunman opened fire. The gunman is dead. A female student and another male student are injured. Back